Pass prediction.
Good.
We should be good.
All right, we'll go ahead and call the order of the Board of Works and Public Safety meeting for August 4th. First item on the agenda will be the minutes from the previous meeting.
I move to pass the minutes from our meeting from July 21st.
Second. Motion and second to approve the minutes from July 21st. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass. Does anybody in the audience have anything pertaining to tonight's agenda? All right, we'll move on to payments and vouchers. First one will be payroll claim register for the pay period of July 14th to July 27th. The amount of $44,145.41. Second one will be July elected pay in the amount of $4,567.99. And the third one will be vouchers for the period of July 22nd to July 25th in the amount of, is that $276,186.26.
I move we approve the payments and vouchers for payroll claim register for pay period 7/14 to 7/27 in the amount of $44,845.41. July elected pay in the amount of $4,567.99, and vouchers for the period 7/22 to 7/25 in the amount of $276,186.20.
My second.
Motion is second to approve payments and vouchers as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass. Next, we move into adjustment requests. We have three of them. The first one is 2025-32, 615 East Main, outside spigot, left on, credit wastewater, $101.22. Second one is 2025-33, 415 West Erie, pool fill, credit wastewater, $49.02. And the final one is 2025-34 for 409 Westward, pool fill, and credit wastewater, $148.69.
I move that we approve the address at 615 East Main for the water adjustment credit of $101.22, along with the address at 415 West Erie Street in the amount of $49.02. Lastly, at the address at 409 Westwood Drive to credit the wastewater in the amount of $148.69.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the adjustment request as presented. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass. In the department report, we'll start off with Andrew.
I don't really have anything new. Angela, is that in here?
It's purple, it's a purple sheet, it's not stapled to the packet.
There should be a purple sheet there. I actually brought it to Angela late. I was able to go to the commissioners meeting today. This was written up by Cruz, the county lawyer. This is to allow us to use the permitting system. We're finally through. This is the final stage. If you look through that, they will obviously house those for us. We will be using their improvement location permits. Or the amount is fantastic. It's $1,500 starting off. If they increase 5% next year on their amount, we increase 5% on $1,500. This is, before it was what we recorded, 14 for install of this, and then like 7 or 8 every single year. So it made a lot of sense to start using the county permits. They're great. The ILPs are the only thing pretty much, aside from like a fence permit or a dumpster permit or something, we're really just doing ILPs. Those are our approval permits. They're already doing our building permits for us. So we'll still retain our piece for those in control, but we'll use all their stuff. And the price is right. I mean, it's great. So this is the actual interlocal agreement. I'm just basically asking for approval to use or to spend $1,500 annually, and or I guess probably do it year by year. So if it up 5%, we'd have to do it next year, but this year to use the $1,500. I'm assuming that will actually be prorated. So we're partway through the year, so we would prorate that, but we can get in this office and start doing this.
Yeah, I don't know, we have to bring that up every year, total 1,500 existing contracts.
I would say, yeah, let's just approve it with what they increase, that's what we increase, and just make this go. I mean, we're gonna need it
That's
going forward.
yeah.
Yeah,
So if we get over the 3,000, or we bring a contract with someone else.
that's right. And this is something they really like this model. I mean, they're excited about this. The zoning administrator wants to use this in like St. Joe, and Corona already uses theirs, but that's because they take care of the whole thing. But places like St. Joe and Garrett, if they wanted to, but all the little guys like let's use this for them. So this is a good one.
But the process for application, I think, does not change.
So it will, hopefully. They don't use their online portion right now. So part of this deal was if I make something, they get to use it. Like they can use it. So we're gonna put in our own records, historical records for these addresses and everything. I'll enter all of our, hopefully I'll have help. We'll get all of them entered. But then what we do is I can go out there, create an online form, and they may end up using it at some point. They just don't use it yet. This software has the ability to apply online. I would much rather people go apply there, shoots back to me, I can look it over, approve or deny it. I mean, that's the goal right there.
That's great.
You should tell them you can charge them $1,500 a year for your services.
Right? No, this is a good deal. I mean, this is by far cheaper than any option we looked at. I mean, it was not cheap. In Fort, we do maybe 100 ILPs a year. That's it. So for, to pay $8,000 for 100 permits a year, did not make sense. At that point, we're spending more on the software by far than our permitting fees would even cover.
Makes sense to me.
I move we approve the addendum to the interlocal agreement between DeKalb County and this board of commissioners, pay the amount of $1,500 a year plus the annual 5% per year increases.
It could be 3, it could be 5. I mean,
Okay.
whatever it
Not to
is.
exceed 5%.
Yes. Yeah, something like that's what I would think.
I second.
The motion is second to approve the interlocal agreement with the county as presented. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass.
And then Mike, if you could just sign that, and Angela will fax it back to Susan Sleeper, and we'll be good to go. I'll get sign-ins and start getting our stuff in there.
And I'll tell her we need an invoice so that we can pay them.
Yep.
So,
That's all I have for planning.
Okay.
We do have, just so everyone is aware, this Thursday, not in here, but in my office because it's smaller, letters have been sent out. We have 4 BZA for hearing officer items coming in, such as fence on someone's property that has multiple front yards, shed on someone's property that has multiple front yards. The shed was something that was done in the interim before I got here. So we're taking it through the proper process. A couple others, just pretty easy stuff, but we are doing that.
Now,
The only thing I will watch on, I know that the construction is completed there in the police department, removing that window and filling that wall, and I think it turned out pretty good. And that's all I have.
Ron,
I have nothing for the board.
Braxton, Phil, and Andrew.
Yes, I'm Braxton tonight. So we do have, Braxton, we're gonna be looking to make a transfer, in our managed service provider. We currently utilize All-Star. We are actually looking to use Nate Vance and his company. He's actually in the audience, and if you want, love for you to come out there.
It's possible that they should definitely improve. Of course, it's
There's batteries back here.
Sorry.
I can talk real loud.
Yeah. I was gonna say, maybe once you can come up here too. I mean,
Would you like?
actually, go ahead. I'll catch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, my name's Nate Dance. So I started my business a couple years ago, Advanced IT. Basically, once Mid-City had gotten bought out, I felt like there wasn't really a good local resource for IT services, and I've been in IT for about 15 years, so I just wanted to provide a service to the community, and I really enjoy helping people. I really enjoy technology, so I thought, why not just help the community this way and hopefully create a business out of it and create jobs and that type of nature. Worked for Cal Central Schools for about 11 and a half years, worked in the IT department, and then moved on, worked at Auburn Essential Services in the city of Auburn for, I think, 3.5 years. So had a lot of different variety of IT experiences, different levels, do a lot of consulting work for larger organizations. Can't say them without their permission, but yeah, if you have any questions on, or would like any information, feel free to ask any questions you would like.
As a general strategy, ideally, as we transition away from All-Star, there's gonna be a lot of work right off the bat. So ideally, what would happen is we would transition over to Nate at a similar or equal cost to as All-Star. And then as more of the work gets done, they're not hands in day to day, we would be able to scale that back after a while. We don't ever want them to go away. We always want a safety net there, but we're hoping that a lot of work right up front. Braxton, take him along for the ride, obviously. He's very knowledgeable and he's getting better and better. So transition more of that to him, but truly kind of run most of the stuff day to day ourselves. When we need help with certain things, like right off the bat, we're obviously looking at getting surfing here. Much faster internet. We're gonna have to redo the way we do things. We're not gonna have 5 fixed access wireless devices up on top of the water tower. There's gonna be internet to every single location, very fast, a gigabyte. Our AES connection right now, I think is 50 over 50 and then distributed through fixed access wireless. So this is a strategy to bring us up great speed at every place. But that will take some things like router setup, switch setup, kind of a whole new network topology. That's where Nate and his team are gonna be crucial. I haven't touched a router in over 20 years. I don't know how. I don't know if Braxton does, but we really want the people that do this day to day. So that's what we're hoping to do, is kind of make that transition. So wanted to give him a chance to introduce himself to you guys as well.
And this is, we're just using All-Star as a safety net, and then depending on.
No, we would actually transition off of All-Star and use Nate as the safety net going forward, or Mr. Vance as the safety net going forward. So we've kind of brought him up to speed on our general network topology, how things work. I think he grabbed that information very well. So I think this is a good option. He is like you said, he's a local to DeKalb. It's nice to have him right on our, back door and helping. So.
And I would say, I sat down with Braxton a little bit as well, and with Andrew, and I would say, Braxton seems like a very capable guy. I think he can catch on a lot of this and really champion a lot of this moving forward. It's just a matter of having someone kind of walk alongside him, like show him some things that maybe he doesn't know yet, so. But yeah, excited to help out in any way we can.
I think that's all we have for IT.
Yeah, thank you again. Andy, you're up.
Push that button. Very good. So I just have the Board of Works, kind of rough, overview of my hydrant flushing adventure the last couple weeks. So I'll just run down this list. If you have any questions, please stop me. So in the last 2 weeks, really it was just a week period. I flushed, the first week just didn't pan out. So I flushed 128 hydrants. 2 were skipped due to the sidewalk, ADA ramp replacement. I'll go back to those when the concrete's fully cured and forms are out and grass is growing. I don't want to tear anything up. Average flushing time was 7 minutes. So approximately 650,000 gallons of water was used during that period. 6 hydrants were found not to be draining. In this area, we had dry barrel hydrants, which means after you're done using them, they drain down so they don't freeze in the wintertime. 6 of them in our system were found not to be draining, which is a fix I can do in-house. 3 hydrants are in need of bonnet repairs. Bonnet is the top side of the operating none is. Basically, they were just hard to turn. Rebuild kits are available for the 3 of them that we have in our system. Approximate price right now, I'm waiting on one final one, is $1,400. That's just a rough price on an in-house rebuild for those 3 bonnets. 2 were marked out of service. One was R.E. Jones on the other side of, it's back there out there. And then the other one was right here behind the American Legion, which is still a work in progress with Wessler and Bowen. There's a valve right in front of the hydrant called the watch valve. That is currently broken in the somewhat on position, which is now not allowing all the force or flow through that valve. So that's a work in progress with the engineering firm and contractor. 3 hydrants I marked as need extensions. Every hydrant has call it a traffic section. There's a coupling in there, car hits it, somebody backs into it, somebody runs over it, it'll break off and allow that seat to stay, but allow the hydrant to fall away and not get damaged, not damage the seat. Below that point, if they get hit, pretty bad damage can happen. Extensions are available and waiting on prices. Hopefully by the next meeting, I'll have all these numbers for everybody. And 6 were marked that are in need of replacement. They're operable as they are now, but they're old. They're actually, most of them are Iowa hydrants, which there's little to very little parts available. Maybe on eBay you can find some. There might be some if you dig the archives, but it's just not worth turning to maybe not find the parts. So I marked those as needing replacement, still operable. So whenever we do a project in that area, they'll need to be replaced during that project. And that's pretty much it. I mean, the flushing went well. The first week was a little rough. We had a couple service leaks that I had to tend to. I couldn't flush that first week, and that hydrant flushing got extended one day. But overall, it was better than expected. The flushing time, like I said, was an average of 7 minutes. I did have some that were in 15-minute range of flushing. Some were I only flushed for 3 minutes and got good chlorine and good clear water. So that's it.
Touch on your Ferguson.
Oh, yes. So currently the water and wastewater share a radio receiver, 2 read meters. They're taking out of one vehicle, putting in another, going to read. So I would like your approval to order another transmitter where I can permanently mount in my vehicle. So whenever I need to do any kind of meter reading for myself, it's in there ready to be used. And wastewater will have their own to be used anytime they need. So that's Ferguson Waterworks. I think you have it in front of you, it's green.
It's a single sheet of green, it's 2-sided.
I had it, no, I don't have it.
Look at it over.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, got it. Yeah, $46.87. $4,687.
This is a similar one that we had.
Yeah, same exact one, just, green.
I'm good with getting an extra for the truck. So I move that we approve the purchase of the Allegro 2WM mobile receiver for the wastewater truck in the amount of $4,687.
Second.
For the water
For the water truck, my apologies.
The motion is second to approve the meter reader receiver from Ferguson. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass. Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you. Yeah.
I have a couple of things. Currently, I use two labs. I use Element out of Fort Wayne, and I use CF Environmental out of Fort Wayne. Most of my testing goes through Element, and then I do mercury, priority pollutants, and my sludge digester testing through CF Environmental. I have had some issues with CF Environmental about getting results back late. Sometimes we pay a rush and then they sit in their mailbox for 2 weeks before I end up getting them. So I just haven't had a super good, experience with them. And I know Scott had the same kind of issues. So I was looking to switch the testing that I use with CF Environmental over to Element, so that I have just one contact for all my testing as well. The price is all on the sheet. I know me and Angela were talking, it would cost around $12,000 for the year for the testing, but we're hoping that we could approve the per test price, just in case I have to do extra testing throughout the year.
Yeah, it's a very confusing quote.
Yeah, I work with Element, in my job, and they are very good. I would prefer us to use them.
in past life as well.
Yeah, they are very good. And you're asking that we approve it by the per test price?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I know, I do have the CF Environmental prices in here too. They were pretty similar. Priority pollutants are a little bit more because there's extra testing that Element is doing for us, the asbestos in the sludge and in the water. CF Environmental wasn't doing that for us, and it was $1,100 extra for that testing for the sludge and $290 per test for the influent and effluent. So, but that wasn't added in their Element, would actually be a little bit cheaper than CF was. But I do agree, I have nothing bad to say about Element.
And you plan to switch all the permitting through Element as well, right? All of your wastewater permit, sludge, everything.
Yeah,
Right.
most of my stuff is already through Element.
Okay.
I just wanna switch my, mercury, sludge, and, priority pollutants to them as well. That's the only other lab I use, and those are the 3 tests that I do.
Yeah. I believe Andy Solis is new there, am I wrong?
This is the only time I've dealt with him.
Okay.
Usually I use, Nicole Brucci, she's our
Okay.
project manager. That's who I deal with most.
I do with Jennifer over there.
I do, I mean, we can talk about this at a later date, but SDI entitlement, I have to do, compliance sampling to check that their numbers are in compliance with us. So I would have to get quotes on that and bring that up here too, something that we've never done, but we were supposed to be doing. That's not part of this then. And if you guys need more time to think about it, we can counter it. I know I didn't get it to you guys during the week.
We're not under a contractual agreement with our other folks, right?
I don't believe so.
So I move that we approve to, go with Element for our lab testing, for the wastewater testing, based at the per test pricing that has been broken down in the quote provided, quote ID number 3475. And moving our mercury testing over to Element as well, based on the per test price rates that they have in here.
Second.
A motion and second to approve the, purchase agreement with Element as presented. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass.
That's all I had, thank you.
Thank you. Angela,
I have nothing.
thank you. Bob,
Nothing, sir.
Justin?
I have nothing.
I just have one, this is for the city hall employee entrance. Yeah, all three quotes are in front of you. First quote was from Web Concrete. The price was $4,990. Second one was from Henderson Construction, $7,240. And the third one was from Fetters Construction, for $9,300. What this is, when we had that back door changed probably a little over a year ago, initially conversation with Fetters Construction about changing that, and then, they opted to send us to, I think CIH, which does school doors, fire department doors. But while we was looking that over, part of the water situation in that door was there's no drainage back there. And if we get a little heavy rain, the water will come inside, so the tile on the floor and stuff like that. So he suggested that if you're gonna put that door in there, you need to take care of your problem. So he come back with a quote, basically trenching, putting a trench drain in there to help alleviate that water. And we poured that, so we got a quote from him, then I went out and these other two individuals got quotes as well. For the man, you can see there's a difference, you know, $4,990 to $9,300. But all three of them have come out, physically looked at it, the dries on it. I know we had an estimate earlier this year from Webb, it was a lot cheaper on a project, and we went with them, we had good luck, and I know you had them do the block up there, and good luck with them.
They've done work for us too.
Yeah.
We're not good. They went well. Yeah.
I mean, looking over each of these estimates, I mean, they're pretty close to apples. The only difference I see is the 6-inch to 8-inch slab depth on the Henderson Construction and FCI. And as long as Webb is good with, you know, the slab depth requirements, I feel like we need to go with Webb, continue business with them. Bob, do you have any input or differences, questions?
No, I would think that 6 inch would be more than adequate.
Yeah. Right. I move to approve the proposal for the rear of City Hall for the employee entrance with Webb Concrete and Construction, not to exceed the proposed amount of $4,990.
Second. I have a motion and a second to approve the estimate from Webb Concrete as presented. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that motion passed. That's all I have. Does anybody in the audience have anything for the board orders? If not, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move we adjourn.
I second.
Okay, 6:59, give us about 5 minutes to get things signed and then we'll start on council.
Thank you.